afternoon, Gramps. Thanks for flying here. It did not take long for the visibility to go down here. It's only been snowing probably maybe 20 minutes or so now. I'm on the south side of the Twin Cities right now, just south of Lakeville, Minnesota, heading towards New Market, Elko. Oh, these roads are covered in idiots. Don't even get me started about Minnesota drivers. They should be pretty good at driving in the snow, but they seem to struggle just a little bit. Don't know if it's actually Minnesota drivers themselves or the ones who transplant here. I'd guess that too, but who knows? Who would transplant up here? It is beautiful though. I'm glad I moved back up here to the Midwest. Some of the news stations out of the Twin Cities were showing huge lines at the grocery stores, lines out the doors, wrapped around the buildings of people getting their last minute goods. Costco was one of the places they called out. Pretty crazy to see. I did not see any of that on the southern Twin Cities side of things that I noticed. I went to a few grocery stores to see what the supplies looked like, and most of them had most of the goods in there. I think the other things I was noticing that were maybe they were low on was frozen pizzas and meats. That seems to be the shortage items at the local grocery stores around here. Oh, and ramen. Yeah, this is all tied into that same system. So we're on the northern end of it, the cold side of it, where we're getting the historic winter storm, and then you guys are on that southern end of it, seeing more of those severe weather storms and stuff like that. So pretty dynamic system, actually, if you think about it. This is just round one. We'll have another round tomorrow afternoon, and then we will have a final round, which necessarily isn't associated with this system, but another clipper that moves through Friday into Saturday. Might get another inch or two on top of the possible 2 feet of snow we see here the next couple of days. Gonna hop off here briefly and check a couple things, and then we'll get on back to driving southward. Alrighty. So we're new at Elko Market right now. Gonna hop back southward here on 35 and go towards New Prague. This is a stretch of road, I'm sure, towards the peak of this storm is going to become pretty hazardous area to travel in. It's pretty open. Outside the trees near the side of this gets pretty open though out here at the farm fields. This will likely be almost whiteout conditions over the next day or so. And I'm sure there's going to be some pretty significant blowing and drifting out here. These bends also are known pretty commonly to get some pretty bad wrecks around them. People likely traveling too fast for conditions get around the bend, and then they don't see a car that's been stuck in the ditch or might have wrecked, and then it just adds up to a big pile up down here, especially on these S-bends right in here where we see a lot of those wrecks. guys are in the bullseye there, and then we are also in the bullseye here in the Twin Cities. The last I looked at the forecast, I think they're saying 23 inches of snow at the end of this. So it'll be one to watch for sure. See how this all unfolds. And we've already got traffic backing up here. I'm going to assume there's probably a plow in front of us. Currently, I'm just south of Twin Cities, south of Lakeville on 35 South. Snow from this winter storm just started to fall about 30 minutes ago now or so. Traffic's starting to build up here on 35 South. I'm going to assume there's probably a plow up here, or a combination of plows, salting and clearing what is already collected on the roadways. We'll be turning around here in a little bit once we get to Prague and going back north towards downtown Twin Cities. It's coming for you in Coon Rapids there, not too long from now. When we started the video, we were in the Apple Valley area. We've only got a dusting of snow and we're already pretty backed up. That's pretty fun to see. Yeah, I'm sure that snow will ramp up pretty quickly. This again has only been going on for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes for the far southern Twin Cities, so it'll quickly spread northward. Yeah, thankful the ground didn't get too warm and it's not too icy though. As you might know, this section of 35 always gets pretty dicey, especially on this curve here. I'm not sure why we're all backed up here. I'm looking ahead and I don't see anything around the bend either. This will easily, if traffic's going to continue to be slow and pack the snow down like this, I'm going to bet it's going to get pretty icy in this stretch of highway pretty quick. Looks like we're all backed up behind a semi. I'm out of the Apple Valley area, so I usually base up out of there, but I'll be likely going Apple Valley, Bloomington, St. Paul, that general area, and I'll probably take a few drives down this way throughout the storm when I can. Yeah, we're all slow behind. Looks like one semi. Likely someone not from around here. Oh, it says Twin Cities on the truck. Who knows? Oh, I know very well people can't drive up here. It amazes me. The other day when I was out grabbing video, I saw at least 4 wrecks within a half hour. And Granted, that snow was pretty heavy, and that was definitely a squall. But man, I couldn't believe how many people just wrecked so easily with that quick burst of snow. There's some tandem plows on the going northbound on 35 there. They got their de-icer and their salt they're spreading. Good to see. Yeah, I've lived in Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Minnesota. And I'd have to say that this is probably one of the worst areas I've been in for drivers in the snow. I would go farther south than this, but I'm sure it's going to be more of the same. There's probably more action up in the Twin Cities area. So we're going to turn around here in exit 69 and then go back northbound. Maybe we'll catch up to those plows going northbound. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like and share. We are also going to have people coming from our media side down in southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. They'll be seeing more of an icy mix down there. Parts of Wisconsin, they just got put under an ice storm warning, and then we'll be gathering video over the next couple days across the Twin Cities and try to share as much as possible. I'll be live streaming as of right now, but I'll be uploading other additional videos on our various social media platforms throughout the duration of the storm. For anyone just joining us, we're going back northbound on 35 now. Roads don't look too bad right now because we just saw two plows going north, spreading salt and de-icer, so we'll likely catch up to them here shortly. You can see the southbound traffic there is going pretty slow, actually, if you ask me. Which, glad people are taking it easy, taking it slow, but need to be going 20 under the speed limit necessarily. We'll also hopefully get some photos and videos from some of our freelancers down in the Oklahoma City area. We'll see what they can gather. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Oklahoma's got a small chance of some severe tonight along the cold front as it works through. Here we're hitting that slowdown from those plows up ahead of us. But yeah, Oklahoma's going to have marginal threat for some severe weather with the cold front passing through. Don't see any widespread, maybe some isolated storms with some likely damaging wind and maybe some isolated large hail is going to be the biggest threat for them down there. That's again along the cold front of this system that's working through the upper Midwest. That will be going through, cold front will be going through Oklahoma area. Stuck in the traffic jam now, going northbound with those plows. Again, this stretch is known for a lot of wrecks. If I couldn't even count on my hands how many wrecks I've had. Sometimes I've come down here for wrecks, specifically on this bend right here. When traffic gets slow like this, it just packs down all the snow and it gets super icy on this stretch of 35 between Prague and New Elko Market. It gets pretty bad down here. Add in the openness on either side of this highway here, you get a lot of blowing and drifting of snow. The plan right now is we'll take this north towards southern Twin Cities. Might swing by the airport there and see what their operations are like there at the airport. I expect that a lot of flights will end up being canceled between this evening and tomorrow. Again, this is the first round of this winter storm coming through the Twin Cities. We're supposed to get about, I'd say 4 to 8 inches of snow depending on where you are, but where that heaviest band of snow falls in the deformation zone. This is along a frontal boundary working through the northern end of that frontal boundary. Then we'll get a lull in the action early in the morning tomorrow, and then by the afternoon the second round of the cold front's going to, or the second round of the winter storm's going to move through, and that's when we're going to see likely the worst part of that storm. Upwards of 12, if not more than that, inches of snow will be possible with that storm across the Twin Cities. If you're in parts of the western and southwestern Minnesota, winds could get up to 40 to 50 miles per hour, causing blizzard-like conditions. I know blizzard warnings are out across that area for that threat. This storm is supposed to also impact Wisconsin. A lot of the state is under a winter storm warning, especially the north and central portions of Wisconsin. And as you get down towards southern Wisconsin, the last strip of counties on the Wisconsin-Illinois border, those are all under ice storm warnings. They might get an ice storm down there, which then stretches into southern Michigan. Northern Illinois, they'll maybe get a mix of rain and snow. I think their biggest threat's going to end up being some heavy rain and maybe some flooding from that heavy rain. We'll have to see where that boundary of the ice snow line kind of forms across Wisconsin and Illinois. I don't know about anyone else, but I hate being in the middle of semi-trucks on the highway. That is definitely a fear of mine. Because I have a semi in front of me and 2 semis behind me. Thankfully, the traffic's backed up pretty slow behind us, so I'm not too worried about getting rear-ended or sandwiched by a semi anymore. But Definitely need on the back end of a traffic jam there. It's a little worrisome. For anyone just joining us, we are on 35 northbound, going towards the Twin Cities from Prague, however you say it. The slow crawl of the traffic right now is likely due to 2 Minnesota DOT plows spreading de-icer and salt on the roadways here. So we're a little backed up, likely because we're following those 2 plows. We run into the same issue here on the southbound lanes earlier on the way south. So bear with us as we go north here. Snow started probably 45 to an hour ago. This is the first round of the winter storm coming into the Twin Cities. Possibly a historic storm for the Twin Cities. If this all pans out as forecast, this could be one of the largest for the month of February. One of the largest. It'll probably be in the top 3 snowfalls for Minnesota easily. Now I've got someone from the Norman area, someone from the Coon Rapids area. Curious to find out where everyone else is from who's joining us this afternoon. Feel free to comment in and let us know. Not much accumulation as of yet. I'd probably say a couple tenths of an inch if we're lucky. Hard to really say though when you're looking at the roads here that have been well treated by the Minnesota DOT here. Well, it's nice to see traffic going slow. I do know this slow continual compacting of any snow or snow on the roads will lead to some ice underneath it, so we have something to keep an eye on here into the evening hours and see what happens with this road over the next few hours as this slow process of travel north continues. Visibility looks to be down to about, I'd say, quarter to half a mile looking north here. After that point, it gets pretty hazy as far as visibility goes. Pretty big flakes now. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera or not, but there's some decent sized snowflakes that are coming down now. Pretty good sized dendrites. For anyone in the Twin Cities area, if you live in the area, I'd recommend not traveling once the storm really starts to kick in. If you had any travel plans, I would have recommended leaving probably an hour or two ago. If not, I would wait to actually do your commute until after the storm ends, probably Friday. Could be some lingering impacts into Friday though. Blowing and drifting snow with the light nature of everything here, but those conditions Friday into Saturday will be a lot better than they are tonight and tomorrow. If you do have to travel in this weather though, the Minnesota Department of Transportation and the Minnesota State Patrol recommend turning your headlights on, which is something I commonly do not see cars doing. A lot of people keep their lights on in auto. That doesn't really turn your lights on though. Even in conditions like this, it's still bright enough that the sensor in your car will not automatically turn your lights on. You want to have your lights on because, for instance, that car on the right here, that BMW, you can see the red tail light right now. That means their headlights are actually on. In auto, that won't actually happen. So make sure you manually turn your headlights on. Do not use your cruise control in the snow. Buckle up. And if you happen to get stuck, if you are traveling, if you happen to get stuck, they say to stay in your vehicle and buckle up. You're safest in your vehicle, which I will agree. You are safest then. I will stop and I will assist people every once in a while, but if I'm ever on a live stream and I stop in to help somebody, my head's always on a swivel checking back behind me to make sure no one's veering off or no one's going to hit us while I'm trying to check on people. I also recommend if you have to travel out in this weather, put a hat and gloves in your car, put a blanket in your car, water, some snacks. Like you were saying, some common sense items, but you'd be surprised how many people do not do that. That car, I'm trying to check these. That car did not have their headlights on, for instance. This Subaru in front of us might not have their headlights on. I can't tell. I don't see tail lights, so I'm assuming that their headlights aren't on. I've been chasing now over 10 years, and the number of times I see people do things they're not supposed to do just boggles my mind. I think I can solidly say that the visibility has dropped now, quarter of a mile. Snow is definitely getting harder. But yeah, if you don't have to travel the next couple days in the Twin Cities, just don't. You're guaranteed to be safer in your home than you are on the streets or on the roads. You also save anyone who has to come out and try to get you out of your vehicle. You save them from risking their lives as well. So if you don't have to travel, don't travel. It doesn't seem bad right now, but I can guarantee it's probably going to get worse here pretty quickly. We're coming up on the south end here of Lakeville, Farmington. That sign said 1.25 miles away. That sounds enjoyable. I unfortunately have to work tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday I have to work, but thankfully we're able to work from home. We are now entering Dakota County in Lakeville, Minnesota. For those wondering, the Subaru next to us, or that was in front of us, now next to us, he does not have his headlights on. Probably by the time we get up to the Twin Cities, we'll probably be in that traffic. This isn't it already. You know it's plows in front of us, but I'm sure it'll get nasty there quick. Especially with all the bridges and overpasses we have in the Twin Cities, it amazes me. That's great to see they're letting people out of work early. I had not heard of that, but not surprised. Glad to see they're doing that. I saw that a few schools were already closing for tomorrow and I think Thursday, or they're working from home. They're doing work from home versus in-school learning, which is something I'm glad to see. Twin Cities schools are closed? Good. That's good to see. I was kind of surprised they didn't do that earlier, since we all knew this was kind of coming, but especially when they have the ability to do schools online. I don't know why you wouldn't just do it earlier. But glad to see they did in fact close the Twin Cities schools. This is one stretch of highway I feel it should probably be 3 lanes all the way into Twin Cities, but I don't see them doing that anytime soon. Yeah, this is a lot of traffic. Again, it's like those 2 plows ahead of us really backing everything up, but this is a lot of cars, and this stretches for miles behind me too. So my goal, I guess, after this is we're gonna swing north. We're gonna swing by the airport and see how operations are doing over there. Maybe we'll make us trek out to Twin Cities. We'll see on timing. I do have to swing out, grab some brokering video as well. So just trying to finally sort of see some life come around us here. Instead of trees and open fields, this is Lakeville, and then you'll probably see some Farmington out there as well. But Lakeville, Burnsville, we'll probably pass in the outskirts of Apple Valley as well. This is northbound 35 before the split of east and west of 35 when you get to the Twin Cities. Pretty slow going traffic here, northbound all the way from Prague all the way north here. We did see some plows going southbound, so this traffic might be related to those plows. We haven't been able to catch up to them though to really confirm that or not. Currently the traffic's going about 30 to 40 miles per hour, so pretty slow northbound traffic. Welcome to anyone just joining us. Coming through the Lakeville area here, northbound 35. Pretty significant slow traffic from Prague all the way to this point now. Right now we're going about 25 miles per hour. Pretty congested. I believe there are two plows in front of us spreading salt. It's likely why there's all this traffic. I'll bet when we get to this 3-lane split up here, where the road becomes 3 lanes, I'm going to assume the traffic probably gets better. But slow and steady wins the race. Coming up here to the Buck Hill area. Buck Hill Ski Hill will be on the left. When we were going southbound, I did see Buck Hill was open. There were a few people there enjoying this fresh new powder we were getting. as this sign says, winter storm warning in effect for the Twin Cities. That began at 3 p.m., so 18 minutes ago. The bridge in front top, we're going to go under this bridge here. There's going to be two plows going by. Those were the guys that were slowing the traffic. They looks like they're going to go back southbound. Traffic both north and south, pretty congested here. You can see the left lane, that is all backed up as well. We're going to take the right split here at the 35W, 35E set. We're going to go towards the airport here, going 35E. Not seeing any accidents on the roadways just yet, but I am seeing quite a few slowdowns. Visibility is definitely deteriorated with the light fluffy nature of the snow. So if you do plan to be out and about this evening, please take it slow. And also make sure you leave distance in front of you for the people in front of you. Give yourself some more time to react. We just went over 42, so 35E and 42, going north on 35E. Quite a bit of traffic here on the roadways. I'm going to assume a lot of people at their workers out early today. I am seeing an accident being reported on 77 South. Or Cedar Avenue. I was going to go to the airport, but we might redirect and go check out that accident and see what's going on over there. Visibility looks to be down to about a quarter of a mile as of right now. So again, slow and steady. Do take it slow and steady. If you do have to be out and about this evening, if you're leaving work, commuting back home, take it easy. See some plows there on the left side, tandem plowing. We're going to take this exit. We'll go the back route to check out this accident here on Cedar. Off ramps are slightly snow covered, so they're probably a little bit slick. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. This is going to get bumpy and the camera probably shake because this exit's got a bunch of potholes. There are a lot of people out. We are on County Road 11 in the Apple Valley area. So this is County Road in Palomino. Pretty close to where we started this live stream. We're now at County Road 11 and McAndrews Road. Again, we're going to reroute to a reported car accident off of 77 just to see what's going on there. Tried to test it when we pulled up to this stoplight here to see how slippery it was. It wasn't too bad, but I imagine as the snow becomes more compacted, the road conditions will quickly start to deteriorate. Just turned on to McAndrews from County Road 11. We're going northbound now. We're in the Apple Valley, Minnesota area. That is an excellent question as to why everyone waits to get their groceries until last minute. This has been something they've been forecasting for over a week now. I'm sure a lot of it is people don't believe it's actually going to happen. As a meteorologist, that is something I constantly hear and see from basically anybody. So that's nothing new in my field of work as a meteorologist, but what can you do? I know WCCO out in the Twin Cities was reporting when Costco opened up this morning, they had lines wrapping around the building of people waiting to get groceries. So, pretty amazing stuff. This was, again, a well-forecasted storm, though. Models had this almost to a T as happening for a while. We are going to jump southbound here on 77 from McAndrews. The accident should be just ahead of us here. We'll see what it looks like. The ramp is definitely slick. You'll start to see that traffic jam coming up here on the camera from all these people. Even without an accident, this is usually what this looks like, pretty backed up like this, so this is nothing new. Looks to be in the right lane. I can't tell how many vehicles, but there's definitely some rescue vehicles in the right lane here. So if anyone's driving southbound on 77, into Apple Valley. The right lane is blocked with an accident. That is likely why this is all congested. I'd recommend not taking 77. Probably get off at McAndrews or Palomino and take one of the side streets in. You'll probably be a lot better off. If you're going northbound on 77, there's also quite a bit of traffic. There is a tandem plow coming up here. It looks like a team of 2 or 3 plows. Traffic northbound looks to be pretty backed up as well behind those 3 plows going northbound as well. Looks like they moved the vehicles off the side of the road here, so they're not in the direct path of everything. The right side there is where you'll see the vehicles. One vehicle is being towed as of right now. Oh yeah, looks like they got T-boned. One car looks to be T-boned. I don't know what the other vehicle was that got involved in it, but the right side of that car was definitely not drivable. Wheel was completely bent, so there's a look at why you have this traffic jam here on southbound 77. We're going to turn around up here on 140th and go back north on 77. We'll take a look at that. We are currently at 140th and Pennock. Gonna take a left here onto Pennock. Again, if you're out and about this evening, roads are deteriorating pretty quickly here. So take it slow. Visibility is down to at least a quarter of a mile at times. Turns, ramps, on and off ramps, secondary bridges, all those are slick at this point. So take those with caution. Find a place to turn around and go back towards 77 going northbound. For anyone just joining us, we're in the Apple Valley area. We're going to go hop back on 77 northbound. Looks like the stream's buffering a little bit. That might happen from time to time here in the Apple Valley area. Service can be a little... Whoa, that truck just fishtailed. Service here can be a little spotty at times. Again, feel free to like the video, share it, help get the word out about the conditions this evening and across the Twin Cities. Again, if you're out and about this evening, take it slow, especially if you're turning on and off ramps, bridges. All those are going to be slick. Just watch people turn here, turn right from 77 onto 140th. I've seen a lot of people fishtailing it here on this curve, so it is definitely slick. Right now we're at 140th and Cedar. Going to turn left here shortly to go back northbound on Cedar. A lot of people are out and about right now. If you haven't, you can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We will be posting videos throughout the duration of the storm. Limitless is a multimedia small business. We have freelancers across many states. We'll have people covering this system here in the Twin Cities. We will also have people covering the impacts from the storm across southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and then also parts of Oklahoma where severe weather might be possible this evening. So from the left side there, you can see all that traffic being backed up from that accident there. They moved the vehicle off the road, but there is still one squad remaining, just to make sure no one hits that tow truck that's around the corner. So again, if you're taking Cedar southbound, I'd advise getting off at either McAndrews or Palomino, or just avoiding Cedar in general and try taking a secondary or side road to avoid it. Probably save yourself quite a bit of headache avoiding southbound Cedar into Apple Valley. Northbound 77 does not look that bad at all though. It helps that the plows, we just had 3 plows come by though and clear this road completely. So roads are not bad on the northbound Cedar, but you can start to see that it's just starting, the snow's starting to accumulate once again on the just freshly plowed northbound Cedar. Quite a bit of traffic coming southbound on Cedar there out of the Twin Cities. Just a heads up for anyone that's going to be commuting this evening or anytime soon. There is quite a bit of traffic there. I think what I'll do is I'll drive north to 5. Just go south the Twin Cities, cut across, back, then over the river, come into Mendota Heights area, and then I'll come back down on 35 through Egan, just to see what all that looks like. I'm going to bet we're catching up to the plows again here as we're starting to see more brake lights. I'm going to bet that's those plows that we saw earlier going northbound. Just going under 13, so we're at 77 and 13. I can't see that far ahead of me, but I'm going to assume the 3 plows we saw going northbound on 77, those are likely the ones we're catching up to now. MDOT is out. I've seen several plows out, both on 35, Cedar, and now in this general area. So, I mean, crews are out, crews are about, keeping roads, at least trying to keep up with conditions now. It's coming down at a pretty good rate. Visibility again at times got down to quarter to half a mile at times. Looks like it's increased a little bit here now. Not as bad as it was, but roads are starting to get slick. So again, take it easy if you're out and about. The snowflakes compared to earlier are not as big as they were, so it looks like at least the snowflake size has decreased. Not as heavy, not as big. Going into Bloomington here on the south side of Bloomington, going towards the airport and Mall of America. Right now we are crossing the rivers. You've been watching the stream the whole time. The general theme seems to be pretty slow going traffic. Everyone seems to be out and about, likely being let off work early is a common theme here. Also, kids being let out of school early, or just being let out of school in general. likely leading to all this traffic. Again, I'm out here doing the driving for you so you don't have to. Stay home, stay warm, stay safe. Yeah, over this weekend it was beautiful. It was in the upper 30s, low 40s. It was amazing. Sucked that I had to work though, so I didn't enjoy it like everyone else did. The unfortunate parts of being a meteorologist. You work 12 hours a day and likely during either good or bad weather. It is an absolutely beautiful day for a motorcycle ride. If you're bundled up. Again, looking northbound, southbound, you name it. Congestion everywhere. Likely this is the beginning of rush hour around here, so nothing new there, but I'm sure it's made worse by the ongoing snow. We haven't seen a lot of it accumulate just yet, but it's enough to bring slick conditions to the area. So what I'll do here is I will come from 77. I will go on Minnesota 5 East. We'll undercut the airport there on the south side. And then we'll jump back across the bridge on 55 to go towards Mendota and Egan area. And then we will jump back southward on 35 to go past Egan. Just to get an overall trend of what the roads in the southern Twin Cities look like, just a little bit there. I could go to the north side, but I'm going to assume it's going to be a lot like this, lots of traffic, and we understand the general gist there. So far, I've only seen one accident, thankfully. I'm sure that'll increase into the evening hours as the roads become more slick. Unless people stay off the roads. But we all know that's probably not going to happen. So, coming off 77 here, going on to 5 East. See how my camera holds up under one of these little bridge areas. Might get a little bit of buffering at that. Oh, plane just took off. Right over us. So if you can't see on the left side is the airport. It's the Delta Mechanics Hub there. On the right is Mall of America. We're going east on 5, which will swing us around the southern end of the airport. Just like before, decent amount of traffic still across the region here. Again, as you can look at the roads, there's not much snow on the roads here. Visibility is down. I'd say it's sitting about a half a mile right now. So visibility is decreased, but there is not a lot of snow on the roadways. But if you are on the bridges and overpasses, it does get a little slick. And then all of your on-ramps and off-ramps, those seem to be starting to collect snow, and it seems to be getting packed down as well. So if you're on those areas, please take it easy this evening. We'll be coming here on the south side of the airport now. On the left is the Fort Snelling Cemetery. On the right will be Fort Snelling State Park. For those curious, it is 14 degrees out right now. A balmy 14. Which is why our snow is as fluffy as it is. It's very cold. Well, I guess not very cold. It's colder. So your snow is going to be a little bit lighter in nature and more fluffy, so it's going to blow and drift more than it would some of the heavier snows the Twin Cities have received earlier this winter. We are again going up on some traffic here on the south side of the airport. I missed your message there. I think it said, do I stream the radar ever? I've streamed the radar a few times. I might do that here in a little bit. I might throw up the radar and have that stream in the background on another live stream for tonight. Got applications I gotta handle here, and then I'll come back and maybe live stream later this evening as we've gotten a little more snow. But yeah, I've done that in the past. Some of our older streams have, mostly in the severe. We've done some snow live streams as well. Heading towards 55. now crossing back over the Mississippi River, or what is now the Mississippi. The other half of the river was the Minnesota-Mississippi split. To our right is where the Mississippi and the Minnesota come together and become officially the Mississippi River. We are taking the 5513 exit here. Again, not much snow is accumulated on the roads just yet. It's pretty light, so it's blowing and drifting quite a bit. But you will start to see the snow start to gather here in the middle lanes, which will likely start happening across the rest of the lanes here. It'll start getting compacted down and it'll start to accumulate more on the roadways. And that's going to start to lead to your slick conditions on the roads. Crossing 13 and 55 right there. We are coming into Eagan, Minnesota now. Driving over, I believe that's 494. Yeah, 494. We are at 55 and Eagandale Boulevard right now in Eagan. Still a decent amount of people on the roads at this time. Roads, though, as you can see, do not look to be that bad. Again, elevated surfaces, bridges, your on and off ramps, any turns, turning off roads, the corners, all that stuff's going to be a little bit slick. So watch out across those areas. But as long as you take it slow and steady and you pay attention, put your phones down, you should be fine. You shouldn't have any issues. Have patience when you're out driving around. There's quite a bit of congestion with the reduced visibility due to the blowing light nature of the snow. You will get some slower driving conditions just because people are hopefully taking it a little bit easier. So just be patient. I'm going to take a right here onto Lexington Ave from 55. We'll take a right here coming up on Lone Oak Road to go towards 35, and we'll hop on 35 and go back towards the Apple Valley area. So we're about to go over 35E. We are on Lone Oak right now. A lot of traffic trying to turn on from Lone Oak to 35. Another tip I'd like to give everybody: if your car's been sitting outside and it's collected snow, clear the snow off your vehicle. It's actually, I believe, I don't know if it's an official law. It should be an official law. If it's not, clean the snow off your vehicles. That includes the top of your vehicle. Really helps when you're driving around not to have snow spraying, blocking the visibility of people behind you. Semis are very prone for having that stuff on top of their vehicles, and the ice will fall off and can shatter windows. But just be courteous, get that snow off your vehicle. It'll make everybody happier. Just turned on the on-ramp from Lone Oak Road to go on 35E southbound. Again, there's another MDOT plow there on the far left side going northbound. It's tandem plows once again. MDOT doing a great job of being out and about and making sure our roads are clear. Pretty low visibility. Doesn't help that two semis just passed us, but yeah, visibility's not good. My car auto detects with eyesight. That just turned off because of the poor visibility, actually. So just be taking note of that if you're out traveling this evening. This very light, fluffy snow is going to drill, it's going to drift, it's going to cause really reduced visibility. Make sure you take it slow, and make sure you leave enough distance between you and the car in front of you. You have time to stop if you need to. Safe to say I can't see anything from around the semi. camera doesn't do this justice, but it's come down just a little bit because the lens is just slightly shifted, but the visibility gets very bad when you're around these semis, especially in the light, fluffy nature of the snow. Here's a test for everyone. Can you see the SUV that's in front of this truck in front of us? I'm in the right lane, there's a semi, and then in front of that in the right lane there's another SUV. Can anyone see that car up there? If your answer is no, that's because of two things. One, visibility has dropped to maybe, that was less than 200 feet of visibility. The car up there also does not have its headlights on, so it does not have its taillights on. The only reason you can see taillights now, well, we passed the truck, but they put their brakes on. This is a prime example of why you need to have your headlights on, so we can at least barely see you. Because that car was not visible at all. I gave that car ahead of us probably two semi-lengths space. I knew they were up there. I wanted to see if anyone else could see them from the camera, because it's starting to, visibility is really starting to drop now. I think we're under another heavier band of snow. I haven't looked at my radar because I'm driving here. I don't have one pulled up on a separate tablet or anything, but I'm going to bet we're going through another heavy band of snow here for the southern Twin Cities. Looking at the snowfall rates, they have definitely increased quite a bit now. We're going to take this exit again for Cedar. We're going to go back around full circle here. Just see what it looks like now going southbound on Cedar. See if there's still some traffic backed up from that original car accident or not. If you're taking 35 south, it's looking ahead over there. 35 east south, there's tail lights up the wazoo going that way, so I'm gonna bet there's quite a bit of traffic jam coming into that first bend down the way. Yeah, looking down off the bridge here down at 35E towards Burnsville, looks to be pretty backed up all along that road there. So if you're taking that route, just take a note, it's going to be pretty busy there. As for Cedar, it looks like much of the traffic that was on Cedar for the original car accident, a lot of that is cleared out, but visibility again is dropping pretty quickly here across the Southern Twin Cities Metro. So if you're going to be out and about this evening, if you haven't left for work yet, I'd recommend you should probably likely leave Sears shortly. I don't think things are going to get any better. So yeah, visibility is down to half a mile at the least as of right now. Wind's really starting to blow and drift, at least blow. With that though, I think I'm going to end this live stream. I've got a few things I got to do on my end here. Thank you everyone for joining me. I might do another live stream later this evening if conditions really should deteriorate. I'll do another one of these drive arounds just so everyone can see what it's like across at least the Southern Twin Cities. I might even make a drive up to the actual Twin Cities, downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul, just to see what it's like around in those areas. If you follow us on social media, we may make a post ahead of time letting you guys know when and where we'll do that live stream. So if you haven't yet, follow us on our Twitter, on our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube. We will make a post. You'll get a notification some way with one of those platforms when we do that. So again, thank you very much. If you'll be out and about this evening, please drive safely, and we'll catch you on the next live stream. Thank you again, everyone.